Let's bring in Republican Senator Steve Daines from Montana, who has been sitting through these arguments. Senator, good to have you with us tonight.
Thanks, Shannon.
Are you worried it's getting too personal when you hear things like that?
I'll tell you, that was a low moment in my history here in the United States Senate with Chairman Nadler. That was a terrible moment. The Chief Justice Roberts was exactly correct in chiding the House impeachment team. They did a terrible job last night. It was an unfortunate moment.
Yeah, and Politico says this under the headline, Republicans livid over Nadler's cover-up accusation. Senator Johnson and other Republicans described Nadler's remarks as a significant error that they said would do nothing but alienate GOP senators. And we know there's a group of 4 or 5 we keep talking about. How do you think that played with them last night?
Well, it didn't help their case, it hurt their case. But let's keep in mind what's going on right now. The Democrats need a shiny object right now to divert the attention away from this booming economy. These 4 trade deals the president has delivered in the last 100 days with China, Japan, Mexico, Canada. This economy is doing great. America is respected again. There's only one way the Democrats can beat this president, and that's through impeachment and removing him from office. They know they can't beat him at the ballot box. That's the issue right now. If you look at what they're asking us to do in the United States Senate, they're asking him to, 1, to remove him from office, and number 2, to ban him from ever being on the ballot again. Can you imagine the United States Senate overturning an election from 2016 and furthermore deciding the election for 2020 when the American people are a week and a half away in Iowa from starting to vote for President of the United States? That's what's at stake right now. So what we're seeing is truly unprecedented. You've got impeachment articles that don't even allege a single crime. That never before has happened in our country for a presidential impeachment. We've had Johnson back in 1868. You had Clinton in 1999. They had alleged crimes that were committed in the impeachment articles. What Schiff has brought over to the House, there is no crime alleged to have been committed. This is the farce of what's going on right now. I'll tell you what, I watched Schiff over and over again today, just repeat the same arguments. It was like watching bad reruns of the Brady Bunch. That's what it felt like for the last 9 hours today.
Well, what do you make of this conversation that if you all, and there'll be an opportunity at some point after the arguments and the questions are asked, you'll have a vote on witnesses, documents, that kind of thing. But there are those who are saying right now that you all are actually the ones on trial because if you don't vote for that stuff, you're engaged in a cover-up, as Representative Nadler said last night. Jennifer Rubin tweeting this, think of it this way, Trump has been impeached. A healthy majority think he abused his power and obstructed Congress. The trial is about whether Republican senators want to be accomplices. It is they who are on trial. How do you respond?
That's Nadler. That was the low point yesterday with Nadler. Here's the truth. What the House did reminded me what used to happen in high school sometimes with a student, where you submit your homework or a paper to your teacher, but it's only half complete. Then you're asking your teacher to complete the rest of it. That's what the House did. They had a half-baked, rushed sham process. What this is all about is about overturning the election of 2016 and trying to define the election for 2020. This is not about the underlying policy and the facts. It's all about the politics at the moment. And Senator Tim Scott was exactly right. The reason they're trying to throw these votes, as Schumer's throwing these votes at us right now, they're going after senators right now, Republican senators that got tough races in 2020. Yeah. That is what's going on right now on the floor of the United States Senate.
Okay, before I let you go, I want to quickly ask you about a big case out of Montana that was at the Supreme Court today. Essentially, it talks about tax credits, where parents can use these for schools and scholarships and those kinds of things. And the state had decided they couldn't use them at religious schools. A number of parents sued saying, hey, that's how we keep our kids in a good private school. We want that opportunity for them. And if others have it, we should as well. But Americans United says this, forcing taxpayers to fund religious education or private religious schools that discriminate against students, families, and employees would be a fundamental violation of religious freedom. Pretty close argument today. We'll have more on it coming up. But what do you make of this religious freedom issue?
Well, I'll tell you what, I had a chance to watch the oral arguments today in the Supreme Court. In fact, I saw Chief Justice Roberts 3 times. I saw him at 2 o'clock this morning. I saw him at 10 o'clock this morning for oral arguments, and then I saw him again on the floor of the Senate at 1 o'clock. But I'll tell you, I was so proud of the oral arguments to see the case being made. It's Espinoza versus the Montana Department of Revenue. This is all about religious freedom. It's about parents that want school choice and whether or not they can have that or not. And I'll tell you what, I think we're going to see a favorable ruling. It looked like we might have 5 votes in the Supreme Court. You never can know for sure. But I was so proud of the 2 justices I got to vote for, both Gorsuch and Kavanaugh. They were asking great questions today, standing up for religious liberty and school choice for parents and for children.
It's a big issue, and we should get that decision by June, right in the middle of this presidential election. In the meantime, Senator, thanks for dropping in with us tonight.
Thanks, Shannon.